Welcome to this edition of the Ultimate Combat Experience. I'm Mike Stidham, and I've got two regular customers here, Phil Henderson and Dave Allred. Man, this is 3 weeks in a row. What's going on? Did you get kicked out of your house? What's going on?
Yeah, I'm hoping that if I do this, I can maybe move into the gym, pay some rent, pay some bills with you.
All right, well, now really, we've brought you back so many times because you really have a pretty good feel for these fighters. You're one of them, so you're kind of like among the fighter fraternity. What brings you back to the broadcast booth, though?
Well, I think it's a great opportunity to get a front row seat at the fights. I mean, I'd pay to come see him, but if I can see him for free, even better.
You know, the best part is he sits on my lap, ringside. It's the best. It's a lot of fun. Phil, good-looking card tonight, man. What's going on the card? Team Risen coming down from Evanston, Wyoming. Tough-looking guys. What do you know about them?
Oh, Mike, these Team Risen guys, I think they've wrestled since birth, maybe 3 or 4 years old. I mean, these are complete wrestlers, and they say they can fight, too. And then the main event, Jarome Hatch going up against Pete Conover. That should be a battle, Mike.
Without a doubt. But these Team Risen guys, they've got the face of a fighter. They're ugly like me, man. They look like they can handle their business. It's the Ultimate Combat Experience coming right at you.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The Ultimate Combat Experience starts now.
Warriors of the ultimate fight. Get in the ring for the ultimate fight. I say we warriors of the ultimate fight. Get in the ring for the ultimate fight. I say we warriors of the ultimate fight. Get in the ring for the ultimate fight. I say we warriors of the ultimate fight. Get in the ring for the ultimate fight.
Dave, a no-holds-barred lightweight matchup that I think has the potential to be the fight of the night. Carter Downey, this kid's wrestled since he was born. Going up against Chris Miller, not a bad wrestler himself.
Absolutely. You're going to see some top-notch national level wrestling going on tonight. And I know Chris Miller's really, really excited for this and has been training very hard. Don't know much about Carter other than his wrestling, but I think it's going to be a great fight, and I think you're right. Maybe a fight of the night candidate.
It's going to be like two bulls in a china shop. Let's see how many dishes get broken.
Two little teeny tiny bulls, though, Phil. These guys are 155-pounders coming in the lightweight division. We don't have any pre-fight interviews because, quite frankly, Carter Downey couldn't string a whole sentence together.
Well, that's the way they talk up there in Evanston, Mike.
Apparently, we tried to interview him. He just didn't have a whole lot to say. He says he's ready here to come and do his talking in the ring. He's 5'6", 155 pounds. That T stands for something that rhymes with festival.
Not sure what that means, Mike, but here's the Millhouse, Chris Miller. This kid's a physical specimen.
No, he is a physical specimen, and the kid's getting better and better. 5'8", 170 pounds. He's moved up from Spanish Fork to the Salt Lake City area, training over the Ultimate Combat Training Center. He has put his time in for this fight, and looks like he's ready to go.
Yeah, he has dedicated a lot of time to this, Mike. He's kind of switched from bodybuilding to fight training now, so let's see if the transition works for him.
Well, he was bodybuilding until he got all these ladies. Now he's got more ladies than he knows what to do with, and it doesn't look right here that the boy from Evanston wanted to touch gloves at all. Shoots in and gets a big takedown. Boy, that was kind of maybe a little bit unsportsmanlike.
Well, man, but Miller threw a haymaker, missed by just an inch, Mike. If that thing would have landed, that might have been lights out.
Yeah, certainly would have, but maybe we'll give Carter Downey some slack. He first-time fighter here in the cage, and customarily people like to touch gloves. You're not required to, but it is the gentlemanly thing to do.
Now this Carter Downey kid, Mike, this kid's a high-level wrestler. He's wrestled since basically he was 3 or 4 years old. I'm very interested to see what he does on the ground here.
Well, it looks like he's still wearing the same shorts that he got when he was 3 to 4 years old. It was a little bit short for him. Chris Miller able to get out from underneath here, and now he's got a body lock on, and now they're jockeying for position, but Chris Miller showing doing a pretty good job of getting out from underneath.
Yeah, he did, Mike. He reversed there and got up to the cage, and let's see if he can put some pounding on Carter Downey in the John Stockton shorts.
Okay, yeah, there you go. Those are even smaller than Stockton shorts, but you see here, Chris Miller looking for the takedown, but wow, that Carter Downey, he is a good wrestler, and he was able to counter, got a nice little head throw, and looking for a submission here, trying to isolate an arm.
Yeah, that was a nice toss down there by Carter Downey, sitting in front headlock position. Let's see if he can finish Chris Miller, if Miller can get out of here.
Well, you know, not a whole lot of punching going on, and this is kind of typical with wrestlers. And once again, Chris Miller doing a good job of getting out of a precarious position, but gives up full mount position, although Carter Downey, I'm not sure he has the experience in submission wrestling to do anything with it.
No, he might not have the submission wrestling or the jiu-jitsu experience, Mike, but it's common sense to just pound your opponent's head, and that's what he's doing now. Miller's got to get out of there.
Yeah, he's stung Miller a few times. You see right here where Miller just kind of curled up into a ball, and these shots are landing, most of them. He's this Carter Downey, again, for a first-time fighter, very composed, very good at position and balance, but he's picking these shots, and those are big shots.
Oh, I'm wondering if this fight's going to be stopped here, Mike. Doesn't look like Chris Miller has a lot left in the tank.
I think he's got plenty of tank. I think he's been stung by a couple of those shots, and boy, that'll make you curl up. And you're not seeing him come out of that shell at all, even though Carter Downey has stopped punching for a moment. Right, he's just picking the shots left and right now.
Yeah, he is. I think Miller got hurt, Mike, because he's not really defending himself here, and I think it's just a matter of time now for this fight to get stopped, because he's not doing much of anything but balling up in a curl, curling up in a ball.
Yeah, he very much has kind of seemingly thrown in the towel there. He just kind of stopped fighting about maybe a minute and a half or a minute ago, and I think that was after Carter Downey landed some pretty big shots. I don't know, you mentioned Chris may be hurt down there, but he's not doing much to get out. Carter Downey is really making him pay for it.
Oh, and Carter's trying to squeeze on a choke here. Chris got a little bit of time left on the clock. Let's see if he can get out of this, Mike.
Well, you know, if he does, oh no, he 4 seconds left. He taps right there. His head was just getting cranked on. That wasn't really a submission so much as it was just his head was getting cranked on, and he had enough of it and didn't want to come out and do a second round. Carter Downey making a very impressive first performance here in the cage. Let's work on his interviews, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, he needs to work on his interviews a little bit, Mike, but that's what we expect from people.
But he's a pretty good fighter, though. We'll give him that.
Oh, he can wrestle and he can fight.
Great Clips is home of the $10 haircut. Also pick up $10 UCE tickets only at participating locations.
You can see you've got a lot of level over here, and that is no slouch. That is some national level wrestling you went against. Give us your thoughts on how that got out of your hands.
Yeah, he was pretty strong, and he got me. He took care of me.
Well, I know you've been training a lot at the UCTC. We'll see you there a little bit more and then come back in the cage.
Yeah, definitely.
Perfect. Well, anybody you want to thank?
I want to thank Wired Energy Drink and the Combat Cartel for pushing me through everything that I've been through. So all my fans out here, got a lot of people out here to support me, so congratulate them.
Celerity Investments. If you have a vision, we can assist. Go to investwithcelerity.com to find out how.
How many years of your life have you been wrestling? I'm looking at your ears there, man, and you got a lot of cauliflower, brother.
Since I was 3.
3 years old, wow. Are we going to see you again, man, or what?
Oh, yeah.
You Evanston, Wyoming guys are some tough customers, man. Thanks for being part of the experience.
Thanks.
These Team Risen guys, though, out of Evanston, Wyoming. Wow, Utah, there's a lot more up there than what we go there for. The fireworks and the kegs, there is, but these guys can fight. They got their own fireworks.
I know. You know, the only thing more brutal than these guys' punches and attacks are these shorts. I don't know. Maybe the next time they come up, they can change a little bit of the attire, but definitely keep that fighting style the same way it's at.
We've got more of the Ultimate Combat Experience coming right at you. Dave Allred, we have a no-holds-barred middleweight matchup with the Gator. Oh, wait, he's the Strangler. He's on a one-fight winning streak. He's going up against Trevor Cook, the Punisher. That's a tough kid. I don't know if Gator's going to get the win tonight.
You know, I'm going to have to agree with you, especially since Trevor requested this fight for a while, and the Gator, or the Strangler, or the Choke, I mean, he's been avoiding it for a while, but now we're going to see how this actually shakes out.
Well, apparently these kids live on sort of the same block or next to each other, so we're going to find out who's the toughest kid on the block.
For the record, Jason Allguire hasn't been dodging this fight. It just wasn't a fight I was super excited about putting together. It's Trevor Cook, tough kid. He's on a very uphill swing, as you say. He's coming into this game, and he looks extremely good, and I just didn't think Jason Allguire was ready for him yet.
No, myself, I thought that too, Mike. This Trevor Cook, he's a good-looking prospect.
All right, 6 foot tall, 184 pounds. As you mentioned, he lives right down in the same area as the PG Strangler here, Jason Allguire. This kid has been around a long time, but just until recently, he hasn't really been training, and I understand he has been doing that. He's 5'11", 180 pounds, training down there with Team Samurai X, and that's a good crew for him to be with.
Yeah, it is, Mike, but maybe they should have told him to stay out of the sun with a wife beater on.
Yeah, wife beater on there.
Jeez.
Out there beating somebody. I know he doesn't have a wife, so I don't know what he was doing out in the sun for as long as he was there.
That is my nomination for worst tan in the history of UCE, Mike. Well, the Gator with a nice takedown. I didn't expect him to take Trevor Cook down like that.
Maybe that tan was just to distract him, because Trevor Cook was trying to figure it out too, and right there PG Strangler gets up underneath and gets a nice takedown and plants him down right on the side of the cage, right next to old Mark Balser there, Team Samurai X, giving him some words of advice.
And that's always a place you want to be, Mike, right in front of your corner, getting advice and having your opponent, you know, kind of hearing what your corner's saying and freaking out a little bit. But let's see if Jason Allguire does something with this.
When I used to fight, my corner was always drunk, so it didn't really do me much good to get over there.
You didn't get a shot in between rounds, Mike?
I tried to stay away from the corner because you get contact highs from my instructor back in the day.
Well, Jason Allguire looks like he's trying to do a north-south choke here, Mike.
Looking like he's trying to put it on, but Trevor Cook able to thwart that effort, and now he's standing up and got a big reversal, almost.
Yeah, Jason's going for some type of an armbar here, but not quite able to get it. But I will say this, Jason Allguire has improved dramatically lately, Mike. I can definitely tell that being on a team. Oh, looks like he got an inverted triangle on, but he's going to go for a ride here.
He's going to go for a ride.
Boom!
And a bumpy ride at that. Trevor Cook with a big slam right here. This first round has been pretty back and forth. Trevor Cook's going to have to do something from top here. Oh, look at Jason Allguire pulling guard.
Wow, Mike, he is training. I'm impressed here. I really think if this fight would have happened a couple of weeks ago or a couple months ago, Trevor Cook would have beat him, even though Jason now has like 50 more fights.
Yeah, well, this fight is far from over, and you see right here, Trevor Cook still doing the beatdown. Left and arm behind right there, Jason Allguire. Wow, we've never seen Jason Allguire transition like that.
No, Mike, he's going back and forth, and man, I'm impressed with Jason's positioning on the ground here.
Well, he's taking some shots. He certainly paid the price for that attempted arm lock there. Yeah, he looked to end the fight, but didn't quite get it.
Oh, Jason's getting choked, Mike. I think this might be the end here.
Well, this right here
We've seen this time and time again.
Vintage PG strangler, whatever. He's gotten out of it, though, Phil.
Well, he got out. Whoa. Well, Mike, you know, he says he's not the Gator anymore. He's a Strangler, and he's a changed man, and he's training, and, you know, it looks like it's paying off. It is showing.
He's a little bit high right here, but you're right.
He got a hook in.
Every scramble for position that we've seen, Jason seems to come out on top, and he's done a very good job here. Very impressed with what he's been able to do so far.
Yeah, I am impressed, Mike. I really thought this Trevor Cook kid would run through him, and it hasn't happened so far. He did get the big slam, but other than that, he hasn't been running through him.
Absolutely not. And as this first round starts to draw to a conclusion here, I think Jason Allguire is going to go back to the corner with 1-0 in his favor. And how many times have we seen that, Phil?
What are we talking about?
Not very many times.
I don't think we've ever seen that, Mike.
Well, right there. There's the end of round number one. Dave Sully says, go back to your corners, regroup, see what we can come back out here with. And Trevor Cook looked like he might have just been a little bit lost.
Who is that?
I'll tell you what, we got the Daydreaming Exotic girls here this weekend. And if you've not heard about these guys, you can drive Ferraris, Aston Martins, all kinds of cool cars. They brought their ladies out to be ring girls for us tonight, and wow, what a great change of scenery that was.
Oh, Mike, I'm still in awe of that ring girl. Whoa.
What about this, though? Jason Allguire getting underneath and almost to get, well, he found himself in top position once again to start this round off.
Mike, I would like to see the data on how many times Allguire's actually been to the second round in his 50 or 60 or so fights. Because I haven't seen him in the second round very much. This is kind of a new thing.
Going to the second round with the lead is also very, very unusual. Right here, he loses position, but Jason Allguire, I mean, he's been the butt of many jokes on this show, and I've got to take back a lot of things we've said. He really has applied himself, and he really is doing some things, looking for a big choke here.
Oh, Mike, he's got that on. I don't see Cook getting out of that. Man, Allguire's jiu-jitsu is going through the roof, Mike. I'm impressed.
Let's not get crazy and call it through the roof, but for Jason Allguire, it's through the roof.
Well, it's definitely an improvement from what he used to do, and he's getting his hooks in. He's choking correctly. I don't know if he's going to finish this one. This Trevor Cook kid is one powerful, strong kid, and he pulled his head out there, but Jason's definitely improved.
And Trevor's a good-looking kid. I just haven't seen what I expected out of him today, and we've been heaping a lot of praise on Jason Allguire, but you got to kind of question where Trevor Cook's at, because he's better than what I've seen today.
Well, Mike, do you think that it's a case that Trevor Cook came into this fight thinking Jason would have nothing for him? Or?
That very well may be the case, and frankly, that we've seen that so many times. I think Trevor Cook may have underestimated Jason Allguire and looked for a big, easy win here. He's not getting it today. Even if he comes out with a win, he's been in a fight.
Yeah, he's definitely been in a fight here, Mike, and I think that might be what happened here. I think Trevor Cook thought he would just run through Jason like a lot of people have, in all fairness, but Jason's not that. He's been training, Mike, and I can't, I don't want to beat a dead horse with that, but he has improved.
I think we have pretty much beaten that one into the ground, but right here, it looks like Trevor Cook might just have, stalled out, delayed the inevitable, because it looks like he's looking for a choke here. Dave almost stepping in there. If they don't do something with this position here, he will stand him back up.
I would like to see Trevor Cook try and pull guard or something here. This is like a guillotine, and he's just sitting on his butt. That doesn't really do anything except for that. You give up and you fall over.
I think Trevor's tired. I think he's out of gas. I'm not sure why Dave's going to stop this one here. Oh, the mouthpiece came out. That was kind of a strange point in time to stop the fight. Anyway, he's stopping him, restarting them back up on their feet with a nice, clean mouthpiece. But you see, Trevor Cook is not moving very fast.
No, he's not, and I think he is gassed, Mike. I think you said that right. He's gassed. And Jason Allguire looks like he's got some gas in the tank.
Here's another observation is, when you've got a lot of emotion going into a fight, it'll wear you out. And Trevor Cook just doesn't like Jason Allguire. And I think there might have been some bad blood boiling. And you look right here, he just doesn't have much left in the tank to do anything with.
Oh, he did that big slam just a second ago, Mike, but he put himself in a guillotine. And you're right, maybe the emotion's getting the best of him, and when your adrenaline's not flowing the right way and you're pissed off, sometimes that happens.
Yeah, I'm not a really big, I don't get too excited about slams like that, because you look at what happens after the slam. Well, let's talk about what's going on right now.
Whoa, what are we talking? We have a round 3?
I didn't even notice the number 3. I was looking at our round card girls there, but yes, absolutely, we do have a round number 3, and see right there, Mark Balser pretty happy about what he's seen in the cage so far, giving Jason Allguire a little pat on the butt, saying, man, keep it up, just do what you're doing.
Yeah, Mark Balser definitely coming into his own as a coach, Mike. He's producing some very good fighters lately, and got to give my hat, tip my hat to him.
Yeah, he's got a pretty good group of guys down there, no doubt about it. Had a chance to visit with some of those guys from Team Samurai X. They're a very close-knit group, and you see right here, Jason Allguire was able to make his way in over there and work with some of those guys, the Cowboy and some of the others that are down there. And you can really see the end result of that.
Oh, Mike, Allguire trying to pull out the back door here, and I'm not sure what he's doing here.
He's going for a ride again. Oh, man, it looks like he might have a choke on.
He might have that, Mike.
Yeah, well, Jason Allguire, unbelievable. In a million years, I wouldn't have guessed that. Jason Allguire, big win for him right there. He's pretty happy about that. But Trevor Cook just looking for somewhere to lay down.
2 in a row for the Strangler, Mike. 2 in a row.
The PG Strangler is on a roll. And Dave Sully said with a raise of the hand right there, puts Jason Allguire on a 2-fight win streak. Who would have thunk it?
I definitely wouldn't have Mike. And Jason did impress me tonight.
Got bronze? Body Bronze Tanning has state-of-the-art tanning beds and home of the 30-second spray-on tan.
Why don't you give us your thoughts on that fight? You know, I know you requested it, so what happened?
I don't know. I just couldn't finish it. It was my bad. He fought good. He beat me. That's it.
He did come out looking a lot sharper. No longer the Gator. We have the PT Strangler looking pretty crafty there on the ground. Well, anybody you want to thank tonight?
All my fans that I let down. And my cornerman. That's it.
You look pretty exhausted. Well, tonight you were good. Just not good enough, but we want to see you here really soon. When are you going to come into the ring again?
I don't know, about a month or so.
Addiction Motorsports has the baddest choppers on the planet. Check out their new showroom at 187 South Mountain Way Drive in Orem.
2 in a row. You took out Trevor Cook. I've been one of your biggest critics, man, but I got to take my hat off to you. You look good tonight, man.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I knew he wanted to fight me. Told Mike, let's fight, because I always wanted Jamie Anton, and Mike's going to let me have him for my last fight. That's all I've ever wanted. So that's going to go down hopefully in a month or 2.
All right, what about your coaches, Mark Balson and everybody at Samurai X? You're definitely improved, man. I mean, you're not the way you used to be. You're improved, man.
I just wanted to get up for Samurai X. Everyone down there, Shane Holt, Mark, Kevin Greenwell, all them guys. It's great. You know, Kevin's been pounding on me. He's a good fighter, and I think that's what's brought me up to this. And 2 for 2 now, and hopefully I'll go 3 for 3 with Anton.
He's the toughest kid on his block, apparently.
He's not even looking like the same type of fighter. He looks great on the ground, and he actually looked pretty good about getting it onto the ground as well. Top to bottom, a much improved fighter, and I gotta say, I think he's gonna be doing some loud things this year.
Well, Trevor Cook came out with some huge slams, but the Gator was just, the Strangler, it was just too much for him. I want to see where Jason Allguire goes from here.
Absolutely, and definitely watch out for Trevor Cook, too. One loss is definitely not going to stop this guy from coming in another time.
We've got more of the Ultimate Combat Experience coming right at you.
Diabetics on Medicare are tired of the pain.
I wish there was another way.
Now there is. With this new meter, you can test on your arm with less pain. It's simple. If you're a diabetic on Medicare, get less pain with Diabetes Care Club.
Now my fingers don't hurt anymore.
The club will send your diabetes supplies to your home, and they bill Medicare directly.
Membership is free, so is shipping.
Call Diabetes Care Club at 800-985-7829.
A no-holds-barred featherweight matchup here in the Ultimate Combat Experience. It's one of the first guys from Risen that we've seen fight tonight, Garrett Desmond. He's going up against Robert Miller. I think this is going to be a good fight.
Absolutely. These guys are both intense. I have to say all of Team Risen is just pretty intense, pretty quiet. I think they're going to try and prove it all in the mat. And for those of you who don't know, Sticks and Stones gets on the forum at ucombat.com quite often. You can see what he has to say about the fight before and after, so make sure to check it out.
Definitely a very opinionated fighter, but tonight he's doing it in the ring. He's shutting up and he's putting out in the ring, so we'll see.
Robert Stone's a good guy. I really like that kid. Garrett Desmond, now new to the scene. Pretty funny kid. At the weigh-ins last night, he had a lot of pretty funny things to say about his teammates over there. Those guys work hard, but it sounds like they play hard too.
Yeah, he's supposed to be a pretty talented wrestler, Mike. Let's see what he's got.
Okay, he's 5'8", 185 pounds. Nickname is Underoos. I don't know what that means, but maybe hopefully we don't see his Underoos tonight.
Oh, this Robert Miller, this Sticks and Stones guy. This guy can fight, Mike. This guy can fight.
A lot to say tonight. Robert Miller, I think he might give Jason Allguire a run for his money in the worst tan of the night. 5'10", 150 pounds himself, but he's got some tan lines as well.
Yeah, he does. He's got more of a farmer tan, not a wife beater tan, though, Mike.
Well, he's out from farm country is where he lives.
That's acceptable out there.
Out in the middle of Sticks and Stones is where he lives.
Yeah, it is. And let's see if this kid from Evanston goes for a takedown right away in his underoos there, Mike.
Well, I'm guessing he does. That's pretty much what these guys are. They're wrestlers, and they're very good wrestlers. If their stand-up gets anywhere near the caliber as they're wrestling, and if their submission gets anywhere near that caliber, these guys are going to be a really tough team to deal with.
Yeah, they are, Mike. All these guys are state champions, are very high ranked in wrestling, weren't they?
Everybody from Vernal is a state champion. UNA High School usually has most of the fighters in the finals from that school every year at the state championships. They're just a quality wrestling town, the great program, They brought down Nate Gerard. He's one of the assistant coaches down there. He's on this fight team here, so that whole wrestling legacy just transferred into fighting.
Yeah, wrestling is so easy to start your mixed martial art base, and I think everyone would agree with that if they've seen MMA for a while now. But this is one thing you got to look out for. When you got a guy pinned, you can't leave your arm behind.
Well, yeah, wrestling is the bridge that fills the gap between stand-up and ground and submission, but you can't forget about submission. This right here, Robert Miller, very good at submission. And this triangle choke, man, that thing's on, it's on tight.
Oh, it is on tight, Mike. And
just getting tighter.
Oh.
There's a tap.
That was a beautiful triangle, Mike. That is exactly what you do when an opponent tries to slam out of a triangle.
He did a great job, and he's all smiles here. Robert Sticks and Stones Miller showing once again he's a tough kid in this weight class, but welcome to the fight squad here, Mr. Risen.
Dave, we have a no-holds-barred middleweight matchup between Jose Navidad. We've seen this kid fight before. He's got some hands going up against John Lumen. What do you know about these two?
Well, I know Jose Navidad. He actually fought Chris Miller a couple weeks ago. That was a good fight. He ended up on bottom this time, so I really wouldn't want to be in his way this week because I think he has something to prove.
Yeah, I think it's going to be an exciting fight. We'll check it out for ourselves.
Once again, got one of those guys from the Risen crew, and Jose Navidad, he said he's the guy that does the stand-up training. He's the one responsible for their stand-up and their boxing and striking. The rest of them are wrestlers. He himself prefers to stand up.
Now, these guys from Evanston are tough guys, Mike.
Well, they are a pretty tough group. 6'1", 170 pounds. His nickname is El Ferros, and going up against the first-timer in John Lumen.
I don't know a lot about this John Lumen kid, but you know, he said he can slug it out, and we'll see what happens.
Well, he's willing to stand and trade, and that's what Jose Navidad wants to have happen here. John Lumen, 5'9", 183 pounds. Nickname is Speedway, and he's looking to race right through this fight here. And boy, there's a pretty good stare down between these two.
Yeah, this Jose Navidad, he's supposed to be able to throw some bombs, Mike. Let's see if he can get off, or if his opponent's going to tackle him and get him down on the ground, where he can't use it. Oh!
Wow, that was a racing head start there. That's why they call him Speedway, I guess. And he just ducked his head and started swinging those shots. And Jose Navidad, this right here, even if you're a good striker, if you got a guy that comes out real awkward like that, it's hard to get your timing and rhythm.
Yeah, it definitely is, Mike. It's not boxing where you can kind of set in, get your feet set in, and start throwing your punches. Guy runs at you, you got to make adjustments, and it looks like Navidad has made those adjustments, though.
He's made great adjustments. Lands a couple of big knees so far. Those punches are kind of looping as far as I can tell he's not really throwing him right straight down the pipe. But again, I attribute that to the fact that his opponent is kind of doing the same thing.
Yeah, his opponent's kind of moving around a lot, and there's, you know, a lot of movement there. But, Navidad throwing some bombs there, Mike.
He's throwing bombs, not quite landing. I mean, he landed one of them, but he hasn't landed the majority of these punches. And I'll tell you what, Lumen's doing a pretty good job of staying in there.
Yeah, he is, Mike. The Speedway is still in the race here.
Yeah, but he's slowing down, no doubt about it.
Go, Speedway, go!
Yes. Oh, he took a couple on the chin right there. Nice combination by Jose Navidad to finish things off with a big knee. Lumen, he's coming back, though.
Yeah, he is coming back. He landed a nice shot there. Oh, another shot there. Maybe he's got a little bit left in the tank.
This kid's a tough kid, man. He's taking a pretty...
Oh, those are some bombs. Oh, he got knocked over there, though, Mike.
Yeah. He was on a roll there for a minute, and it got stopped in a real big hurry with the big shot from Jose Navidad. And right here, Lumen trying to shake some cobwebs out.
Yeah, he is. Go, Speedway, go!
Speedway is a pothole right now. He's not going too far anywhere soon.
Oh, not sure what Jose Navidad was trying to do there, but he got himself in a triangle. Nice.
Yeah, he's been listening to those guys when they're teaching him submission. He's teaching them stand-up. Apparently, he's been paying attention, kind of. He's trying to put this
he needs to cross his legs, but he might have this thing on tight. Oh, he does. He tapped him out. There's blood everywhere in there too, Mike.
I'll tell you what, that can be pretty debilitating when your head's buried down there and you see nothing but a pool of blood underneath you there. Right there, John Lumen tapping out, and Jose Navidad holding strong. El Ferros there for Team Risen. Man, these guys are on a tear tonight.
Evanson's in the house tonight, Mike. That's for sure. Dave, a no-holds-barred middleweight matchup with Adrian Plasencia. I think that's how you say it. I went to West Jordan. I took Spanish, but I wasn't paying attention. He's going up against Brian Lipset from the UCTC. This Lipset kid, he's a wrecker, man. He's a fighter.
Absolutely. Mike Stidham, both you and him really think he's one of the top prospects coming out of our gym. And he's got some brutal ground and pound in wrestling. So I think it's going to be a tough matchup for anyone. We'll see what Plasencia can do about it.
Yeah, but Plasencia is supposed to be a really good fighter, though, so this should be an interesting matchup.
Oh, you called that one right. Lipset's a good-looking kid. Adrian Plasencia, though, he's a pretty tough-looking kid himself.
Yeah, Mike, this kid's supposed to be able to, let his hands go, and he's going to have to do that tonight because this Brian Lipset kid, he's a horse. This kid's a fighter, too.
Plasencia coming up from the Orem area. He's an independent fighter from down there. I'm not really sure what his nickname is. Asesino. I don't know what that means. I'm only part Hispanic, but Brian Lipstick, he doesn't like that nickname, I'll tell you that right now.
Oh, Mike, I thought his name was Brawlin or the Wrecker 2 or something.
Something like that. 6 foot tall, 180 pounds. After the night, I assure you, you'll know who he is and what his nickname is, and we'll get it going. Dave Sully said, letting these guys know who's the boss in the cage tonight. Touch the gloves. We're ready to get going.
Let's see what this Lipset kid, if all the hype is true or not.
Well, I guess time will tell here. Dave Sully said it's telling him to let it go. Lipset coming out here, landing a couple knees to get things started. Plasencia is kind of trying to tie him up and keep things close here, maybe looking for a takedown.
Yeah, they're in a Greco-Roman clinch here, Mike, and I can't tell you from personal experience this Lipset kid is a very good wrestler, but he's going for the patented Sugarloaf foot stomps.
Those are patented by Sugarloaf now?
Well, not so much. It's the only thing Sugarloaf can do, Mike.
The only thing he does well. Plasencia coming over the nice overhand right, landing on the side of the head of Lipset, but didn't really seem to phase him all that much. Both these guys really comfortable in that clinch fighting. Neither one able to score the takedown till now.
Oh, that was a nice level change and ducked into a single there, Mike. And well, Lipset, he might. Palencia has a good hold on his head. Let's see if Lipset can get out of this.
It looks like Plasencia just kind of hanging on right there. That's kind of a natural thing to do for guys that are a little bit new to the game. Lipset able to get past that, and once he set up, well, man, look at those punches come.
Oh, Mike, he went right into full mount, and he's dropping bombs.
Wasting no time whatsoever to put the damage on right here. Plasencia wisely giving up his back, but I don't know if that's going to be so wise here in a moment.
Oh, I think that he had to do that, Mike. He was getting his face visited by Brian's fist a few too many times.
And Brian continues to throw these punches from top, and he's just kind of being a little more selective about his targets now. Slowed the pace down just a little bit, but every one of these punches are landing, and they're landing pretty solid.
Oh, he sucked on a rear choke there, Mike, and I think this might be it.
Well, Placencia's looking like he's just winding up to tap. He's just waiting for the right opportunity, making sure it was on all the way. Right there you see it, though. Brian Lipset, very, very impressive first visit to the cage.
Yeah, Mike, I saw the things I wanted to see out of him as a top prospect in the show right now. He looked very good.
Yeah.
Oh, man, Brian Lipset, he just didn't give Placencia any time to do much of anything. He got him down and pounded him out. But, you know, the Placencia showed a little bit tonight.
Yeah, he showed a lot. I mean, I can tell you, if I had taken a few of those hits from Brian, I would have been napping.
Yeah, Brian Lipset, though, great future here in the UCE. We've got more of the Ultimate Combat Experience coming right at you. Dave, an all-barred lightweight matchup in the Ultimate Combat Experience with the good-looking prospect, Chase Walker. This kid's ripped, man. He looks like he's in good shape. Apparently wrestled his whole life. But he's going up against the Twinkie. You know the Twinkie can fight.
Absolutely. The Twinkie comes to play. I'm hoping to see a backflip if the guy wins. But you never know. Chase might come in with a bit of a sweet tooth and just eat Twinkie up tonight.
Well, I think this is going to be a wrestler going against a striker pretty much, and we'll see what happens.
I tell you, I've really enjoyed getting to know this Brian Anderson Twinkie. He is a really cool kid, and he's getting tougher and tougher. But boy, this team risen coming down from Vernal. I think Twinkie just might have his hands full tonight.
Yeah, this Chase Spicoli Walker, this kid is an animal, Mike.
You remember Spicoli from back in the day, 5'10", 155 pounds, coming down from Vernal, Utah. And Twinkie doesn't look like he's in any hurry to come in here into the cage tonight.
Well, you know, the Twinkie gets so many girls, Mike. Maybe he's a little worn out.
I'll tell you what, that girlfriend he's with nowadays, she's a little cutie pie. 5'10", 155 pounds. These guys are exactly the same height and weight, but different styles without a doubt.
Yeah, I think I'm going to see some wrestling out of Spicoli here, and it might be Fast Times at Ridgemont High all over again, Mike.
Hopefully it ain't too fast. Twinkie, though, I think his submission it might just be enough to get him a victory here.
And if he could somehow figure out how to do his backflip in a fight, Mike, that might help too.
That might help. Doing a good job of avoiding those shots right there. But what he did, that first combination, he leaned out of, but his opponent saw that he leaned right onto his heels, and that made him very easy to take down. And you know, obviously he was very happy to do that for him.
And these Team Risen guys, does Risen, what does Risen mean, Mike? Is it like take down in German or something?
No, they told me last night, but I don't remember. In fact, they said we were called Team Risen, and then we found out it meant something after we named ourselves Team Risen. So they didn't even know what it meant.
All right, that settles that for me.
Right here, you see Twinkie trying to put on a guillotine. But as has been the case with most of these guys from Vernal, Chase Walker just too tough for that and just poked his head up and got right out of it.
So we've got guys from Team Risen in Vernal and Evanston, right, Mike? I'm a little confused.
Vernal and Evanston are very close to one another, Phil, and so they're kind of from up in that area there. In fact, I think some of the guys from Vernal have Evanston phone numbers. But you see right here, Chase Walker really doing some damage, doing some nice body shots, coming over the top and landing some big shots to the head of Brian Twinkie Anderson.
Boy, he is, Mike. And Twinkie needs to get out of there. His cream filling's going to be popping out here any second.
I know what his strategy is here. I can kind of see it. He's looking to let this kid kind of punch himself out, and he's waiting for him to just leave something behind and looking for that submission. And I think that's the right strategy. This kid's obviously physically stronger than him. He's obviously a better wrestler than he, and just I think he's just got to be patient and maybe weather the storm and then look for that submission if it comes available.
Yeah, I think Twinkie's trying to get a triangle going there, start working on a triangle, but this Chase Walker kid's having none of it, Mike. And this Chase Walker kid, he's a man. All these guys from Risen, they're in shape. They can wrestle. They're impressing me.
Yeah, you know, I'm saying, you saw what happened with Robert Miller, though. Robert just kind of patiently waited until he saw that opening. And you see Twinkie looking for that very same thing. And Twinkie's durable enough. He can take some punishment down here. Just how much of it can he take is the big question.
Yeah, Twinkie very flexible, and, you know, he can take a beating, Mike, and then whip something on. We've seen a lot of improvement out of Twinkie in just a little while here. But Chase Walker, we haven't seen him fight before. Primarily, I think he's a wrestler, so maybe this is where Twinkie wants him. Maybe Twinkie's going to try and pop on a triangle.
Well, that's kind of what I like seeing here is that Twinkie's not trying to rush anything. He knows he's taking some shots, but he's not trying to put himself in a bad position. He's just kind of waiting until Chase Walker does something, leaves an arm behind or something, and try to capitalize on it. So far, Walker doing a really good job of staying back and not leaving anything out there.
Yeah, but Walker having a very difficult time passing Twinkie's guard, Mike. I think that he's got to work on that a little bit. He's had a heck of a time trying to get past his guard.
He sure has. In fact, he hasn't been able to so far. And just a few seconds left here in the first round, and Twinkie getting a little bit of reversal, looking for an ankle lock perhaps. Now, I don't think he's going to have time to really pursue it, but pretty dominant first round there by Chase Walker, but he just might be falling into the trap of Brian Twinkie Anderson, and that is, once again, looking for something just to be left behind.
Whoa.
She would never get left behind. I don't care where she went, Phil.
Whoa. Whoa.
You're so easily distracted. Round number 2 coming your way. Chase Walker way ahead on judges' scorecard. Possibly a 10-8 round, but certainly a 10-9 round in his favor. Twinkie has got to do something here to maybe turn things around.
Well, I'm telling you, if Twinkie could work that backflip into some type of fighting, Mike, it would be awesome. But a nice shot and takedown by Chase Walker.
That was a mirror image of what happened in the first round. Chase Walker threw a 1-2 combination. Twinkie backed up and then got caught for a takedown. Looking for triangle, though, Phil.
Oh, Chase Walker right into triangle, but he is pounding the Twinkie in there.
I'll tell you what, this is exactly what Twinkie was looking for there. If he can sink this thing on just a little bit tighter, boy, the kid from Evanston or Vernal, wherever he's from, that guy from up north there, he could be in trouble.
It's easy to remember, Mike. Evanston, kegs. Vernal, no kegs. Evanston, kegs. Vernal,
that's the main
no
difference
kegs.
Between the two. They're close to one another, but Evanston's probably got a little looser liquor laws, is I guess what you're trying to say.
Yeah, well, I tell you, anyone thinking they're going to go up there and do something in Evanston, they better watch this show because these guys are tough, Mike.
Yeah.
Don't go picking fights up there. You get your butt kicked.
Grab your keg and come back home.
Yeah, just shut up, get your keg and your fireworks, and come back on your fat chick and come back home.
Oh, Phil.
Oh, I know. There's skinny girls in Evanston.
Yeah,
I know, Mike.
there's a whole bunch of them here tonight. You better watch yourself. Twinky's still working on that triangle. Chase Walker doing a really good job of just not letting him get it. He's kind of pounding his way out of it. Now Twinky's switching up to a scissor. And I think his legs just ran out of gas there.
Oh, I think they did too, Mike. This Chase Walker kid, though, man, he's a little horse, man.
He's a beast, no doubt about it.
He powered through that. That triangle was on, and he just ripped his way out of it.
Yeah, he's just imposing his will now, and you see Twinky boy. He's kind of it looks like he might have just given up a little bit. I mean, he gave it his best shot. He had that triangle on, and you just look on his face. He's like, wow, man, I couldn't get it, and I don't know if I'm able to now.
Yeah, Twinky, I think he's probably got to be a little disheartened waiting all that time to get that triangle on, and he got it, and he wasn't able to finish him. Now Chase Walker looking to pass the guard, and this was the problem he couldn't solve in the first quarter there.
He passed almost a little too easily right there. And Twinky, I think he's just resigned to the fact that, this kid's beating the crap out of me, and not a whole lot I can do about it.
Twinky, get out of there, Twinky.
Well, Twinky's not going to get out of there. You see right here, Chase Walker brought a lot of people with him tonight, and they're pretty happy about his performance. Making all kinds of noise for this kid. And Twinky, I don't think he has anything to hang his head about. I think he gave a game effort, but boy, Chase Walker just too physical for him.
This Spicoli kid, man, it was Fast Times Ridgemar High all over again, Mike.
Skull Candy, the official headphones of the UCE. Check out their complete line of headphones and accessories at skullcandy.com.
Twinky, I'm a little disappointed I get to see the Twinky backflip tonight. It's one of my favorite parts of the Ultimate Combat Experience. Man, you didn't lose to a tomato can tonight. You lost a fight to a tough kid. What's your plans for the future?
Train more, get back in here, fight again.
There is only one place to get all your favorite MMA gear, including UCE merchandise, and that is Against the Fence.
My whole family sitting over in this section, Morgan, Utah. Thanks for coming.
Perfect. Well, you fought a pretty tough guy. Twinky is no slouch, and he showed some improvement, but he just was not able to handle the onslaught that was Chase tonight. Well, when are we going to see you fighting next?
I don't know. Probably when Nasty Nate calls me and says I'm fighting again.
All right. Well, thanks for coming in and making this an exciting fight for us tonight.
Oh, man, Super Dave, Chase Walker beat the stuffing out of the Twinky, and apparently it's red. It's not cream-filled.
Absolutely. Twinky showed one thing, a lot of heart going into that second round, and he had that triangle locked up. Chase fought through that and ended it with some brutal fists and elbows from the top. It was, in my mind, one of the best fights I've seen in the past couple of weeks.
I think the Twinky had a little bit better technique, but that Chase Walker, he was just in such good shape. He just pounded him. There was nothing he could do. We've got more of the Ultimate Combat Experience coming right at you. Super Dave, our main event, I think it's going to be a super fight. We've got a contrast of styles. We've got the street fighter, Jarome Hatch, who he's a legitimate street fighter. This kid's tough. He'll fight anyone. Hulk Hogan, no problem. Kimbo Slice, no big deal. But he's going up tonight against Pete Conover. Pete Conover is a traditional martial artist, but he's been mixing, and he's got some mixed martial artists in his game. So let's see what happens.
Wow, it's amazing to see people mix styles together and adapt the way that mixed martial arts has. But I will say this about Jarome Hatch. Not only would he fight anybody, he'd win quite a few of those fights that he took up. He's tough as nails, and he's pretty upset that he had to lose that last final pound last night at the weigh-ins. So I'm expecting Pete to come out blazing. I know Pete's one of the toughest guys in the UCTC gym, but I can't imagine this being a disappointing fight tonight.
Yeah, Jarome Hatch, he came in a little bit overweight. He had to lose the 1 pound. He's pretty pissed off. Pete Conover, he's pretty quiet, and he's a reserved guy. This is definitely a contrast of styles. I can't wait to see this fight.
I've been studying martial arts since I was a kid. Started wrestling at 5. 9 years freestyle Greco-Roman wrestling. My father was a wrestling coach, so it was pretty hardcore. Rough childhood. Been on the block a few times. Started studying Shorin-ryu Kempo Karate quite some time ago. What else?
I don't know. I think it's the ultimate combat that just wants a piece of me. Somebody who doesn't train, someone who hits hard, that stands a chance. And hell, maybe I'll come train.
He's gonna get shanghaied. He's gonna wake up somewhere new.
Tomorrow, I'm gonna pummel him. He has got no chance whatsoever. He pissed me off, and he's just got no chance. There's nothing that he can do, nothing at all.
Chavez, buenas noches. Good night.
He says, buenas noches, Chavez. He's going to know about good night tomorrow.
That was a lot of fun, those two, man. They're throwing some jabs at one another, and they're ready to rock and roll tonight. Chavez, Jarome Hatch, he's been on a tear. He's been the Combat Training Center killer of late, beating the UCTC fighters one after the next.
I think he's kind of even on those fights, Mike.
Lately, he's been doing pretty well. 5'11", 185, an independent fighter, and he says, I'm just that. I don't want to be a trained fighter. I've been doing just fine how I am.
Oh, but Pete, Mr. Clean Conover, this guy is, he's a traditional martial artist, Mike, but he can fight, too. He's trained in about everything.
Classy guy, too. 5'11", 180 pounds. Just a nice, respectful guy. I mean, I really enjoyed being around this kid.
Yeah, but one thing you don't want to do, Mike, is piss off Jarome Hatch. That's like sticking a stick in a bee hive or something, you know?
Probably not a good idea.
Not a good idea, because the kid can fight, you know? He can fight.
Pete Conover says he's made more than one guy mad before. Coming out with a nice flying knee, then looks like it landed pretty good, and then these two wind up in a kind of tussle situation there.
Yeah, Jarome Hatch going with his patented, running right at his opponent and punching, and Pete was having none of that, but Hatch kind of threw him over here. Kind of surprised to see Pete get thrown to the ground that easy, but Hatch is a horse, Mike.
No, he is strong. We've said this every time he fights, man. He's like just freakishly strong. See right here, he's able to power his way out and has the back of Pete Conover early in this fight.
Well, Jarome Hatch saying, hey, I'm not getting choked anymore. I'm doing the choking, baby.
Wow, he's got a choke sinking on right here. And that thing's on, Phil. I don't think Pete's going to get out of that.
No, I don't. Oh, man.
Looks like, wow. Pete rolled over. Looks like his arm's out of socket there.
Oh, Mike, yeah. Jarome Hatch with the choke, but yeah, Pete Conover, I think his shoulder's been dislocated.
Yeah, that arm didn't look very pretty right there. The doctor's taking a very close look at it. That thing is definitely
it's dislocated. You can see the bone right there, Mike.
Well, I don't know how that happened, but I'm sure the strength of Jarome Hatch had something to do with it. Maybe in that slam early on. Boy, wow, Pete was toughing it up for a minute there, but that thing does not look pretty.
That's not the way that's supposed to go.
No, absolutely not. But Jarome Hatch once again mowing through the UCTC fighters and blowing a little kiss to his little honey right there. Very impressive job.
He is just a horse, Mike. He's just a strong fighter.
Are you Army strong? Find out what it takes to be a soldier in the U.S. Army at GoArmy.com.
All right, well, Chavez, that was very fast. Our main event here. Give me your thoughts on the fight. You look pretty worked up.
I was actually pretty pissed off because of last night. I probably would have been a little more out of shape, but he made me run to get that extra pound off. He did say buenas noches, Chavez. I think everybody knows what happened. Buenas noches, Petey.
Wow, well, this is one man you really don't want to make angry. Chavez, you look really tight. Do you want to thank any of your sponsors, anybody like that?
Yeah, I want to thank my family, my brothers, everybody standing behind me. I want to thank you, Mom. Wish you could be here.
Your main event wasn't quite so main eventish, but Pete Conover, his shoulder came out of socket, and that kid, nobody feels worse about it than he. He was really more emotionally disturbed right now than anything. What do you think of the show tonight, though?
It was an amazing group of fights. I mean, yeah, a little bit of letdown with Pete, but it's tough because he's such a tough customer, and I was expecting a war, and I know no one's more disappointed than he is at the result of it.
Absolutely, but Team Risen has shown themselves to be, they're cream of the crop, without a doubt. They're going to be one of the best teams that we've seen in a long time. Top to bottom, these guys look top notch. What do you think, Phil?
Yeah, a good group of fighters coming down from Evanston, Wyoming. Apparently, there's more than fireworks and kegs up there. You know, they can fight. But Pete Conover, you know, I had to help.
And steer,
yeah. Pete Conover, I had to help set his shoulder. Man, that was a horrible dislocation, Mike. But I think he's going to be all right.
Okay, I think he is too. Pete Conover is definitely a warrior, no doubt about that. Great night of fights. We got another great night of fights on tap for you next week. Tune in for that. It's the Ultimate Combat Experience. We'll see you next week.
Warrior!